Okay, so for this one, I'm going to show you how to erase sections of a photo that you want to use, but you don't want a certain part of the image. So for this one, I'm going to use this underwater pool scene here, but there's a random guy swimming in it, and I don't want him in it in the picture. So I'm going to place this here. Now I want to get rid of this guy. First, I need to go up to layer. I need to go up to layer. And then I'm going to go down and rasterize this. That means that it's going to make it so that I can work on it. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to use this lasso tool to select this guy right here. And I'm going to do a really loose outline of him. It does not need to be super accurate. Okay, so now I've selected him. I'm going to go up and go to Edit, Content Aware Fill. So it's going to look for the areas around the guy and it's going to fill it in. And this is a preview of it, but there's a little bit of a smudge there. So if you don't want, like, for example, I don't want these lines. I don't want them to calculate, the computer to calculate those lines in the picture or this big blob up here. And then it will re-render it. And if you like the looks of it, so I'm going to do a little bit more here. I don't want it to use that part. I just want it to use like the area that's green. Okay. I think I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Now my guy is gone. So I'm going to do Command D to deselect. Now I want to load my selection, like always, the outline of my face. So I'm going to do outline. Okay, and then I go over to the mask tool and it did not work. Why did it not work? Oh, I know, because it added the mask to the guy that it erased. So I'm going to right click and delete layer mask. I had the wrong one selected. So I want to have the underwater pool selected. I'm going to load my selection, choose my correct selection there, and then choose the layer mask. Okay, so I like this. Now I'm going to go and blend here. Use my paintbrush, black paint. I'm going to increase this, maybe do 500 or so. It's got an average opacity, so let's see how this goes. Ooh, I like how those bubbles are coming up. So I'm going to blend this in. I do not want an edge there at all. So I'm going to go over it a couple times, but I want it to be real subtle. And then I'm going to do a little bit more like that. But I need to change the opacity so it's a little bit softer transition here. And you know, some of it I might need to put back. So I'm going to put it on white. Okay, that was too much. Let's put it a little bit. You can toggle back and forth between the black and the white to remove and add back in. So I like that. Okay, so now I'm going to add in one more thing here during this video, and that's this picture of this girl here. And I want her coming out of the bubbles, but into the pool, something like that. And I think I'm going to make her probably like, maybe like that big. Press return. Go over to my quick select. Select the subject. Let's see how it does. Okay, I like that. Now, let's see here. I want to make a mask and it gets rid of the pool. That's awesome. Or the underwater part. Now, the thing is though, I want some of those bubbles so that you could see what in the world she's doing. So I'm going to put my paintbrush on. It's quite a big paintbrush there. So I'm going to shrink that down to about right here. And then I'm on the mask and I want to add some back in, some of the photo back in. So I'm going to switch over here to the white paint. And then I'm going to put in some of that water in there so that she's actually floating in that original water there. And you can see there's the edge of the photo, so I'm going to need to blend that. But I like how this is blending. That looks really good. Okay, so I'm going to go back, swap that for black, and then I'm just going to get rid of this edge right here. Don't want any edges showing. actually, I might show you guys one more thing on here. So one other thing that I like to do is lay something on the picture that might be actually sticking out of the picture completely. So I'm going to add in these flowers here, and I already made them transparent earlier and saved it as a PNG. So I'm going to place these flowers, and they'll be on this hat up here. But I don't like the way they're sticking out, so I'm going to rotate this. Probably something like that, so it's like sitting on the hat. Now later I'm going to have other stuff underneath it, but I wanted to show you this. I'm going to press return, and then I can blend this edge in right here also by masking that off and blending that in. So I think that's looking pretty good. And you could really, I mean, you could like work on this for so long, but I love how that's starting to blend in. And I think that the more images that you have, then the more interesting it is going to be to look at it. So one last thing that's going to make it really pop out is you're going to need to add some white for your background. So I'm going to actually click, well, maybe like right here. And then I'm going to say add a new layer. Drag that layer down actually. Okay, so it's right down there at the bottom, right above that background layer that I'm leaving there. Okay, so then I'm going to grab my rectangle selection tool. I'm going to select all that area, and then I'm going to have white paint here. I'm going to get my paintbrush, and now I'm going to actually use it as paint, and I'm going to make the hardness go all the way up and about right there, and I'm going to paint, whoops, my opacity is still at 29%. I want that to be full. So I'm going to paint white in, and it's going to cover up all that checkerboard. Okay, so now when you're looking at it, it's visually pleasing to look at. Okay, so I'm going to save, and I'm going to save it. It saves automatically with the name that I opened it with. So now I have like the latest version there.